What's going on, people? Welcome back to Mandem Football. As always, it's your boy Demeachnyc here. Like usual, like, comment, and subscribe in the video. As I usually say in the description, follow me on my other socials like Instagram at Demeachnyc in the description. Of course, follow me on Twitter. You will always see me on there, Mandem_football. Like, comment, and subscribe in today's video. And in today, we have a bomba. We have a bombshell. We got a bomba club from Fabrizio Romano. Reports that Alexander Isak is interested in exploring a new move away from Newcastle. This is huge. This is something that if I was a Newcastle fan, I would be punching the air right now. I would be absolutely livid. I don't even know what to do if I was Liverpool right now. This is absolutely insane. First and foremost, Alexander Isak, probably a top 3, top 5 striker in world football at his very best, leaving the club that he has a lot of love for, a lot of loyalty for. It seems as though, to me, at least from what I have heard and what I have seen, that Alexander Isak, he seems like he always wanted to go to a different club. Seems like he's reached his ceiling at Newcastle. Reports from exclusive sources that I know that Alexander Isak's dream move is to go to Liverpool. If you haven't heard already, there are reports that he has been training by himself lately. He is not in the squad with the rest of the Newcastle players for the preseason tour. Newcastle are set to face Arsenal in Singapore over the weekend, and it seems as though he will not be featured in that game to be playing for Newcastle against Arsenal. So there are a lot of reports that this was something that was on his mind. This is something that Alexander Isak has been focusing on for quite a while, to leave to go to a different club eventually, whether it be this year or next year. This is something that's been wrapped around his mind. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to way before, right? Newcastle this season had a great season, an outstanding season for them. They have just broken a 55-year trophy drought by winning the Carabao Cup against a team that is definitely going to be mentioned later, Liverpool. This year they won the Carabao Cup. They also finished in the top 5, which means that they will be playing in the Champions League next season. So we were expecting that if Newcastle were to not make the Champions League for whatever reason, it would be evident that Newcastle would have to sell Isak because he is hoping to be in the Champions League next season. So this is very interesting. Alexander Isak, again, one of the best strikers in the world, top 5 striker in the world at his very best, no doubt about that. And it seems as though he was expecting to stay at Newcastle because they made the Champions League. But now, after a few bits and pieces going on in the transfer market, Newcastle were to get Hugo Ekitike, a player that I mentioned before, a player that I was really interested in seeing where he went because I already know how good this player is. And if you haven't seen him already, please give a good look in. Excuse me. Yeah. So we already know how good of a player he is. And for Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt, he's a really good player. We wanted to see where he would go. And now we heard that he was going to go to Newcastle. But now Liverpool came in and said, we want a striker. Either you give us Isak or we're just going to take your target. So they took Hugo Ekitike for around about 79 million. And now they're thinking of possibly getting Isak because this morning a bombshell was delivered by us, by Fabrizio Romano, that Alexander Isak is exploring a move away from Newcastle. What does this mean for the rest of the Premier League? What does this mean for Liverpool? What does this mean for teams that need a striker? Because we know Liverpool are not the only team with a striker, without a striker, I should say. So does Liverpool basically get Alexander Isak without any issue whatsoever, without any grudges or any forks in the road? Will they be the clear team to get Alexander Isak? Well, it seems like it, as they seem like they're the only team that's interested in getting him because they have the funds for it. We know that Chelsea have been in talks because they also have the funds as well, but they are clear, according to Fabrizio Romano, that they're fine with the players that they have, and they should be. They have a load of players, so they should be fine, and they are working on getting Xavi Simons and not reported on this channel yet, but Jarell Hato will be a part of that deal to come sooner than later. So it seems like Alexander Isak is destined to go to Liverpool. And from my sources that I know, this is his dream move. This is something that he's been awaiting for quite a while. It seems like he's picked up, he's found his ceiling. He's found his fork in the road at Newcastle. And it seems like he's going to go to Liverpool, if anything, because that's what he wants. It's also reported to me that he has not been in the training, the main squad with Newcastle, as they're in the preseason tour. They are actually in Singapore right now, the Newcastle squad, to go on and face Arsenal over the weekend, and Alexander Isak will not be in that team due to what we already know this morning. He wants to explore a new move. So a lot of stuff is going on right now. This is a huge bombshell this morning by Fabrizio Romano, and it seems to me that Alexander Isak has been dreaming of something like this for quite a while, and he probably will be ending up going to Liverpool. And this will change the game if they go to Liverpool, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Alexander Isak is to go to Liverpool for whatever reason whatsoever, this will completely smoke the Premier League. There's absolutely nothing that the Premier League will do to stop this from happening. So we have to understand that if Alexander Isak is to go to Liverpool, this will win Liverpool the Premier League. No question about it. Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea, it doesn't matter. They will win the Premier League, and there's nothing that the Premier League could do. But is this something that Newcastle or Liverpool should just let slide? I don't think so. If any team is to get involved in this, this has to be Arsenal, as they are looking to get a left winger. If they get a left winger, they have to get a top left winger. I mean, I'm talking about a box office. I'm talking about a big time left winger. I'm talking about a Rodrigo. I mean, people are talking about Eze. People are talking about Xavi Simons, but it seems like he's going to go to Chelsea. There's not a lot of wingers right now in the market that can really do a job at like the top level that's available. But if I'm Arsenal, I'm looking at Rafael Leao at AC Milan. AC Milan seem like a dying club right now. They are in they have a lot to do. They have a lot to do. So if I'm anybody, I'm looking to get AC Milan, Rafael Leao. Honestly, I'm looking at that. If I'm Arsenal, I'm looking to get Rodrigo ASAP from Real Madrid. Change his mind quick. We know that he wants to stay at Real Madrid. He has a lot of love at Real Madrid, but this is a player that, you need to sign, because they cannot let Alexander Isak just go to Liverpool scotch-free without any forks in the road. They have to stop this from happening, if anything. So this is huge. This is huge. I wonder how Manchester City react to this. I wonder how Newcastle fans react to this, because Newcastle fans must be absolutely livid. They must be shaking in their boots. This has to be very devastating for Newcastle fans, as they have just won the Carabao Cup, and it was expected that, listen, they have a good team. They have the likes of Sandro Tonali, Alexander Isak, Anthony Gordon, Joe Linton, Dan Burn. I can go through the whole team. Bruno G. This is a squad that was on the come up, and for their main guy, Alexander Isak, to go to a team like Liverpool, who just won the Premier League, who they beat actually in the final of the Carabao Cup, it seemed destined that they could take on the world. And now that he's going to possibly be at Liverpool, by any means, it doesn't matter the cost, he will be there anyways. It just seems very devastating. So I wonder what Newcastle fans think. But yeah, that is the bombshell. That is the breaking news, and a lot of talk is to happen from here until the end of the transfer market. Where will Alexander Isak go? Where will the Premier League move from here if he is to go to Liverpool? Does another team get involved and try to put in a bid to stop this from happening, just to make things more complicated? We know that out of the teams with strikers, Liverpool seem to be the one without a top striker or identified striker. So we'll see what happens from here. But in any case, please like, comment, subscribe in the video as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.